Alright, so today we are going into the 7th fight of the career on normal mode, the first time through. And today's guy is going to be Duke Bell. Um, he is the, I guess, number 2 contender. So for today's little intro segment, I kind of played around and grabbed the controllers by the wrist straps and just kind of swung them around and did all kinds of crazy little things, little kung fu nunchucks and all that stuff. And it's not recommended that you do this because you could let go, you could hurt somebody, hit something. So of course, you know, that's the disclaimer there. Now, after doing this and putting this little intro together, I kind of realized that when Thrill of the Fight 2 comes out and they have the multiplayer boxing, I can totally see this as being an exploit. People just going in and just swinging their controllers around like crazy because you get a ton of speed and power out of your hands, basically. And of course, that's going to be an exploit. So hopefully they'll work that part out of it, or notice that that's kind of a little way to cheat. As for the pinched nerves in my neck and my shoulder, I was feeling fine today to do the fight, but I did have to kind of be careful and not get too crazy with this. Alright, so Duke Bell, this guy is pretty tough. He's got a ton of power, and he's got a really strong chin. Probably the strongest chin in the game. His weaknesses are his speed, his punch speeds, and his movement speeds, which was going to be kind of an advantage for me. It was going to allow me to use my defense, but that chin and that power were also two things that were really going to work me pretty hard in this fight, especially with the pinched nerves. My strategy, of course, was going to be to start the first round off just kind of pacing myself and controlling the pace if I can, and really working on my defense. This guy's chin is so tough that I didn't need to go for these crazy swings or flurries or just go out of control on him, because I had 4 rounds to fight him with. And basically just to kind of learn him a little bit and see exactly what he likes to do and how fast his punches really work. So this first round, I just kind of wanted to stick with like a 1-2 combo, maybe a jab, sidestep, and a hook, and then get my defense up. Not anything too spectacular. I had 4 rounds. I didn't want to burn my energy out, and I definitely didn't want to aggravate my shoulder and my neck. Another issue I was having was my connection. I was getting a ton of lag here, and as you can see, I was trying to figure out what's going on. I was getting ready to just go ahead and tab over and stop the game and just reboot everything and start over, but I decided, I'm just going to keep going. Usually when I have these connection issues, it's like within the first round or so, and it kind of works itself out. So I went ahead and just kind of pressed on and tried not to let it screw my plan up too badly. So again, in this fight, you're going to see me probably switch stances quite a bit. And, you know, with my left neck, or my left shoulder, my neck on the left side there, the big hooks and the overhands and whatnot were kind of causing problems, especially when I was sidestepping or swaying or ducking. And then, of course, my right elbow, which is feeling a lot better in this fight from those snappy jabs that I do. I had to make sure that I didn't, you know, kind of pressure that too much either, so I switched stances a lot because my left jabs didn't really hurt my neck and my shoulder on that side, and it gave my right elbow a rest, and then vice versa. If I needed to throw some good power hooks or start throwing overhands or something, I could do it with my right. And so, like I said, I practiced quite a bit on the bags, both garage and in the VR, just kind of working from an orthodox stance, and we're going to see if that pays off here. So I felt like this was an awesome round for me. I stuck to my plan. I controlled the pace. I didn't hardly use any energy. I landed some really good hits. Didn't strain any part of my body that was already kind of giving me trouble. So a great round. Hardly broke a sweat there, so I plan to come in and kind of up the tempo a little bit on this one, maybe work him down a little bit more. And bam, right off the bat, man, I kind of just got a little too ahead of myself here, and he just started landing some really nasty hits on me, and I had to be really careful here because this guy can drop you in 2 hits, easy. So I'd wanted to put in a little bit more on my power here, and I kind of just went a little too crazy there and kind of got my shoulder just a little bit irritated. So I was kind of off to a bad start there because I still had, pretty much 3 rounds left to go here. So keeping those 1-2 combos going with the side steps is kind of how I wanted to keep it going. It seemed that if I tried to move a little too fast, I was getting just a little bit of lag. I was hanging up a bit. So I had to make sure not to get too greedy here and try and pull off these 1-2 combos with a side step and turning them into 3-4 hit combos, because that's when for some reason I was getting a little bit of lag, or I was leaving myself open for Duke to really lay a good punch in on me. Again, this guy's chin was really tough, and I was going to have to really work it down. I wasn't going to probably get a knockdown in the second round for sure, and I had to make sure that he wasn't landing his punches, because he can take you down in a single punch. So my defense wasn't really as good here, and some of it was the connection. The other part of it was just not bringing my gloves up high enough, and he almost actually dropped me here. And I was getting a little frustrated because it seemed like every time I tried to move or whatnot, I'd get just this literal split-second hang-up. But aside from that, I think the round went really well. It started off a little rocky, but I was able to control the pace again and kind of get back on track. And this was another really good round where I conserved my energy and had plenty to go into the third with. So I definitely wanted to come into this round strong and just kind of see what I could get away with and maybe get a knockdown. It was going to be kind of tough though, because I didn't feel like I worked him well enough the first 2 rounds, but this was kind of a trial and error here. The other thing I had to watch out for here was to not aggravate my elbow, neck, and shoulders. So I had to kind of go back to controlling the pace a little bit, but come up with some little bit harder and faster combos, and maybe start working him down that way. But this round was going to have to be an important round. It was going to kind of dictate what was going to happen if this thing went into the 4th round, or if I was going to get taken down or not. For the most part, my movement was really good, and I was able to dodge a lot of his and block a lot of his punches. So he was not landing very many punches at all. I also didn't seem to have a lot of power in my left. My neck and shoulder were kind of reminding me that they're not healed up yet. So when I was actually going for those really fast and hard punches, right when I was winding up, I kind of got reminded that the nerves are still a little pinched and sore. So I would kind of have to back off a little bit and not throw the punch I wanted, and it really screwed up my tempo and my power. So I was having to be careful here because I was giving him quite a bit of headshots, and he almost took me down in a single punch here. And then, of course, I was only returning these little chicken scratches on him. So all in all, it was the plan was kind of working out, but I wasn't going to drop him in a single punch. I was going to have to come up with these flurries, and I just didn't feel ready yet to do it. Now, he did look a little bit dazed, and you can't really see it from my point of view here because I've got it in third person, but he was looking, his eyes were kind of rolling back in his head just a little bit here, and this is why I stepped things up. This is where I figured I could drop him, and he was able to recover very quickly, and I did not get what I wanted out of him. But again, I thought it was a pretty decent round. I kind of felt like it was an even round, but again, I didn't use too much energy, and I had plenty for the fourth round. So these last few seconds, I just wanted to go on a crazy flurry here, see what I could get out of it, and he almost took me down. Luckily the bell saved me here, because I think he would have actually dropped me from leaving my guard down that long.
Step back.
So my neck and shoulder were kind of giving me a little bit of trouble, so I had to use basically the full minute to recover, just to make sure. And I wanted to come into this one strong and actually try and get this early knockdown on him. I figured it was time to use what I had, and it was not working very well. Duke was really nailing me with some good shots, and I got nothing out of him. I didn't even get his... I couldn't even tell by the expression on his face that he was worn down at all. So right now it was about consistency and just keeping the pressure on, but not giving him that knockout blow. So I was having some problem with my range here. From my point of view, it looked like he was a lot closer, and from now that I see it from here, I was actually quite a ways back. So I think maybe something was going on with the game or whatnot, because I was missing him completely. I was hitting more of his gloves instead of his head, and I felt like I was right up on him from my point of view. So I think he was wearing down a little bit because my hits were doing a little more damage now, and his were too. So I had to be real careful here, because he was one punch away from taking me out often here. So here is at the minute mark, and I was like, man, I got to do something here. And I kind of went back to sidestepping with my jab and left hook, and just wanted to work a nice little combo, get him open, and try and get him down or something, man. And because I was doing damage, and as you can see here, I finally got him down. The big question was, did I break him enough to where I could take him down in 42 seconds 2 more times, or knock him out? That was going to be the tough part. Or was he going to turn around and knock me out? I mean, he got right back up, so that told me that he was not quite ready to go down for the count. And bam, all of a sudden, he's coming back hard. And really, I didn't feel I was going to get him now. As you can see, my left hooks just have no power in them at all. No power, no speed. My neck and shoulder were starting to hurt, and I didn't want to push it anymore. And I said, man, this one's going to have to come down to decision. And I was pretty confident that I had this one. I mean, I would have liked a KO, but I felt like I dominated this guy through all 4 rounds. So, hey, a win's a win, right?
The winner is the red corner.
So it's as I thought. I really dominated him on the scorecards. I controlled the pace through most of the whole fight and really had a good lead on him. I did about 600,000 damage, a little bit more, and the game actually kept me at a 1-to-1 ratio, so I didn't have any power advantage at all. So it was literally just wearing him down. So far, he landed the least amount of punches of anyone in the career so far. He only landed about 22% of his punches, so that made a big difference too. So the next fight, I'm not really familiar with this guy, so we'll see what happens, and thanks for watching.